Okay, here we are again. I shouldn't say that, but I'm re-recording this, so I'm hoping this is the last time. But our last class, it always seems impossible until it's done. So we're going to be looking at theory and practice within vulnerable populations. So start to think about what that might mean. And we're going to come at it from a community health perspective, more than an acute care. All right? And then here are the course outcomes and the prereqs. Okay, for this course you need 12 hours. 4 of them is going to be in the online simulated experience, and 8 of them will be completed in a community setting with a preceptor who works with vulnerable populations. So start thinking about who that could be for you. 8 hours, you go one day. So the evaluation of this course is going to be on the Group Aggregate Project-Based Community Epidemiological Project. That is a project where you'll all work together, just like you did in the previous course. This is the simulation experience, and this is the nursing philosophy. And you need to complete the completion of 12 hours of community health nursing. So 8 of those hours is in the community and 4 is the simulation. Okay, 8 in the community, 4 in the simulation, for a total of 12. This is misleading, I get that, but you and I know it's 8. Doesn't matter how many times I look at this syllabus, I always find something that I should have tweaked. Drives me nuts. All right, so here are our weeks. We're looking at community and the idea of vulnerable and who is vulnerable. Healthy People 2020 is a big part of that. Know that they're working on Healthy People 2030, but we are still, that hasn't come out yet as of this, and certainly not revamping this course to meet those at this stage of the game. The Minnesota Public Health Wheel is also called the intervention wheel or the public intervention wheel as well. You'll see those terms used interchangeably. We're going to look a little bit at epidemiology and who is a vulnerable population. Your nursing philosophy analysis is due then. We've got ethical issues related to vulnerability. We've got time back for clinical and project work. This is the simulated case study. And we're going to look at public policy, effective citizenship, global health concerns related to water. Actually, this is related to water. This is just what it is. And then our aggregate presentations. So each week tells you what to read, what we're kind of doing. And then I'm going to scroll down and go through the journals. You need one journal. You will complete a journal for each day that you have a clinical experience. 8 hours, if you do it in 2 4s, that's fine. 1 journal is fine for 8 hours. You don't need to complete a journal for our simulation. All right, complete a journal for your clinical experience. Address the what, 2 scholarly research articles, and then Monday by the midnight of your experience, all right? Piece of cake. This I'll give you a separate YouTube video about, just so when you guys start get to going on it, you don't have to listen to me drone on about everything we've done in class. You can get right to it. But the nursing philosophy. So in the final course, you're going to reflect on your growth throughout this program. How has your nursing philosophy changed since you began? Write a 1 to 2 page paper about that. Does the philosophy you had when you started this program, how has it changed? Has it changed? What will you do differently in your practice? Why or why not? Okay? All right. And there's the criteria and your self-assessment. And you would upload that to Moodle. All right, we'll come back again in a different video about the aggregate project. I'm just going to give you a feel for the Moodle page itself, okay? All right, the clinical forms here. These might not be the most up-to-date. Check with Becca Skidmore if there's somewhere you want to go and you're not sure if we have a contract. Here's just a project example. And we'll look at that more when we go over the instructions. Here's your Dropbox for the your nursing philosophy and your self-assessment. There'll be one project submitted for the aggregate project. Upload your clinical journal here, submit your clinical forms there. So I try to make every week kind of similar. These are the topics within community health we'll be looking at. Here are your resources, chapters 1 through 3, and then you'll have a discussion. Week 2, we'll look at our role in response to epidemiology. This is not the most riveting video, not going to lie. How the WHO defines epidemiology, and then our response to community disease. 3, we start exploring vulnerability. You'll need to work with a partner of our choice. It should say of your choice. Again, no matter how many times you look at this stuff, you always find something. So you're going to work with a partner to create an infographic regarding vulnerability. Social justice and ethics. We have a discussion regarding that. Week 5, you have time back to work on your clinical hours and the aggregate project. Week 6, this is the simulation experience. We're going to do a simulated case study. We integrate our learning about vulnerability using water as a public health concern. So there's some short videos here. One might be about 25 minutes looking back. The American Academy of Pediatrics on lead, and then this community health simulation. All right. So you want to look at the 3 cities with the lead issue, look at the video on water, assume the role of the community health nurse. You are to address the local PTA about the lead crisis and how they can keep their families safe, what the schools are doing to keep their children safe, and answer questions. All right, you're trying to allay their fears. So post an outline for this talk and post 5 questions you would anticipate being asked along with your answer. Look at what your colleagues think. So you really want to sit down and say, how would I present this information to the Parent-Teacher Association with the idea that you're trying to make them less fearful? All right, I look forward to reading that. You guys have become really good. All right. Then week 7, we talk about public policy and our relations to public policy both locally and globally. So we're looking at some international websites. You'll have to go on the Overno library page and find this article. And then there's one more final last discussion of the program. And then you'll do your aggregate project presentation to me on week 8, and that's uploaded under the Dropbox right here. So one project, everyone does their own self-assessment. All right, so I'm going to let you go here now, and then I will have another video related to the project itself. All right, welcome to your last 8 weeks. Dig deep, finish strong.